Pangai Nun actually is an obscure system of Chinese Kung Fu. It wasn't taught to too many people. It originated in Fujian province in southern China, and Pangai Nun means half hard and half soft. It was developed by a Chinese by the name of Cao Tzu Ho, who was considered quite an eclectic at his time. He reportedly was involved with the Chinese underworld and was kind of a mystic figure around his village there in Fujian. He often wore Taoist robes, the long flowing robes, and was, like I say, quite an intriguing individual. Pangai Nun is actually a mix of three different animal systems: the tiger, the dragon, and the crane. An Okinawan by the name of Kambun Weichi left Okinawa, like many young Okinawans, around 1897 to seek out the Shaolin boxing methods. He never quite made it to the Shaolin temples. However, he did end up training with Master Cao Tzu Ho in the art of Pangai Nun. He studied with Master Cao for 10 years and became very proficient in the art. Pangai Nun has three forms, or what we call katas, the prearranged fighting motions, being Sanchin, Seisan, and Sanseiru. Besides the katas, they would practice conditioning exercises. Master Cao, although he had a knowledge of a variety of martial arts, was really his specialty was the tiger system, which was very physical, very strength-oriented. And thus Sanchin, the main kata behind Pangai Nun and subsequently Weiqiru, is a dynamic tension form that develops strength and endurance and mind-body unity. After 10 years of training with Master Cao, Weiqi began teaching Kung Fu while in China, which was actually a first. He was reportedly one of the first foreigners to teach Chinese Kung Fu to the Chinese. Although he had a problem years later with one of his students killing a man in a land dispute, so he had to leave quickly and return to Okinawa. He vowed at that point never to teach martial arts again. However, later on, when things settled down after he moved back to Okinawa, his family and friends convinced him to teach the art again. Master Weiqi taught there in Okinawa until 1948 at the time of his death. After Kambun Weiqi's death in 1948, his students decided to honor Kambun Weiqi by naming the style Weiqiru, or style of Weiqi. So at that time, the name of the style changed from Pangai Nun Karate Jutsu to Weiqiru Karate Jutsu. The system was also passed down to Kanbun's eldest son, Kane Weiqi. Kane Weiqi expanded the Weiqiru system, or evolved it into its current form, with the addition of 5 katas and a variety of prearranged sparring drills. Under the guidance of Master Kane Weiqi, the art of Weiqiru was spread throughout the world. In 1991, Kane Weiqi died, and unfortunately the system has broken up into various segments. Today the art is known as Weiqiru Karate Do, Konan-ru, and Pangai Nun. I started my Weiqiru training in Kalamazoo, Michigan, initially under Sensei William Keith and later under Sensei James Thompson, who was actually a personal student of Kane Weiqi during the Vietnam era. Sensei Thompson was in the Special Forces and spent his off times on Okinawa training with Master Weiqi. And he actually credits his survival in the Vietnam War with his Weiqiru training. I've been doing Weiqiru now for about 20 years, and at this point I'm one of the youngest 5th degree black belts in the world of the Okinawan Karate Do Association. In tape 2 we teach the training drills that bring out the true techniques of the katas into their full extent. The katas themselves are practiced in a staccato fashion. These drills bring out the ability to flow and to adapt, which is the reality of combat. So these drills that we're going to be showing you will teach you forward energy, sensitivity of touch, and the ability to detect motion that is felt but not seen. The training drills that we'll be showing you are single sticky hand, double sticky hand, forward energy training, and what we call the wauki, or circle block training. All of these techniques come from the classical conditioning exercises, or what we refer to as the Okinawan iron body techniques. Okinawan iron body training, or conditioning drills, are used to condition the body to withstand any blow and to penetrate any defense. Done in a continuous motion fashion, these conditioning drills are also a good form of exercise for muscular and cardiovascular endurance. These drills form the basis of the softer and more flowing touch reference and forward energy training drills that you are about to see. Here Sensei Joyner and Sensei Campos perform the classical arm pounding training that forms the basis for touch reference training. Here, Sensei Joyner and Sensei Campos perform the classical arm rubbing that forms the basis of the sticky hand or sensitivity of touch training. From the arm conditioning of the kotikite, we get the concept of continuous motion training and also segmenting the limbs. And what I mean by segmenting the limbs is this. If Louis gives me his right arm, extending it into a punching position, if I parry it at wrist-to-wrist contact, this puts me at a certain distance, possibly kicking range, or where I could step in with a short punch. Now, if I block at his elbow, that puts me in a bit closer. I'm already in punching range and can take a short step in to do an elbow or a knee strike. Okay, the third range I might approach is at the shoulder, where I'm manipulating the shoulder and turning it around for close-in strikes. And the next line being that of the head, hooking the head and actually circle blocking or circle striking the head in order to manipulate. So that's what we mean by segmenting the limbs. The first continuous motion training drill that we're going to do is straight from the arm pounding motions. Okay? First we do it in the right sanshin dachi, stationary. Louis punches right, I circle inside, outside, and down. I return the punch inside, outside, and down. And we just kind of play with it. Nice and relaxed. Moving to the side and down. Then we start to move with it. I step forward and he steps back. So we put it into motion now, a little bit more. Timing the blocks with the passive motion and timing the step forward with the punch. And stop. Good. The second variation we might use is what we call the passing motion. Instead of parrying on the inside for the first motion, this time we go to the outside. So we'll do this stationary as well. Louis punches, I parry, I circle, and I check. I punch and he does the same thing. You can do this out of motion. This is the classic circular block motion in most of the Uechi-ryu kata. A three-segmented, three-beat circular motion. Very good. The next variation that we might do is another motion that is repeated quite often in the katas. However, this time, when we circle on the inside, what we want to do is we want to end up on the outside line. So this circle continues, and we pass like so. We check the hand for an in-between beat. He circles, passes, and down blocks. This time we're doing the shuto or chop, or a ridge hand motion, or a hammer fist motion, or a back fist motion. But the emphasis is on passing, ending up on the outside line. Going back to the first variation of the continuous motion touch reference training drill, we're going to start inserting some of the movements from the kata in actual combative application. First of all, going back to the right lead, Louis punches, I circle, circle, and back to the flow drill. Inside and down. Now, as you can tell, we have three beats in this motion. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. As I recognize these beats, or places in time, I'm going to insert on each one of the beats. And first, on the first beat. Number 1 insertion, tiger claw motion to the eyes. Back to the flow. Once again. First beat, tiger claw motion to the eyes. Second beat, 1 knuckle strike to the eye. And again. Back to the flow. And on the third beat, coming up the middle with the elbow strike, actually into the shoulder, joint area of the shoulder and the chest, in the nerve area. Back to the flow. In this technique, I just follow the line of the arm straight up and in. And one more time. Going back to the same training drill, this time when I perform my simple insertion on either one of the three beats, when Louis parries the motion, I will trap or control his blocking hand and follow up with my offensive motion. So we go back to the flow. Louis punches, I go in, out, and down. And when I insert on the first beat, Louis blocks across. I circle and come in with the back fist on the side of the face. And again, same thing. Circle, circle into the flow. And now to the second beat. Back to the flow drill. Circle, circle, and down. On the second beat, I do the spear hand into the side. Louis blocks down, and I automatically turn it into the ridge hand strike to the temple. And again. And now we insert on the third beat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And on the third beat, as I come in with the elbow strike, Louis parries to the side. As soon as I pick up on the sideways motion, I thread through and take down. This time when Louis parries the insertion on any of the three beats, I won't be satisfied with just a simple countering motion or continuing the offense, but I'll go into a complex motion that will involve at least 3 offensive strikes. So back to the flow again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And on the first motion he parries. I circle hit. I grab from the hit and elbow. I hit and pull into the knee strike. And one more time. Okay, and now to the second beat. Flowing again, circle, circle, circle. This time when Louis blocks down and I go into the ridge hand, again I will grab with the hit and pretty much do the same technique on the other side. Elbow, hit, grab, and knee. So either side you can do it on. It's just a matter of adapting to which side the flow is coming on. And now on the third beat, inserting on the third beat, circle, circle, down. 1, 2, 3. And as he parries and I thread through, this time when I take down, I follow up. And from the arm rubbing exercises, we get the concept of sensitive touch or forward energy training. So we'll go back and just demonstrate the aggressive motion, which comes directly from the arm rubbing, if you would, gentlemen. Outside to outside, elbow in position, forward and back. Notice the corkscrewing motion, the circle within the straight line, and notice how the elbow comes in the elbow in position in front of the body on the way back. Both people are moving at the same time. Aggressive and passive. And stop. Now we go to the passive version of the same thing, wrist to wrist on the outside, and we have a pushing and pulling motion, yin-yang. Again, it's very important that the man on defense, or the passive motion, doesn't begin his motion until he feels the forward energy. This is sensitivity of touch, not anticipation. And stop. Very good. Now we go from inside to inside reference. Inside of the wrist touching the inside of the wrist. The hand is pulling or jerking the offensive motion to the side off of the center line and returning into the punch. Again, based on sensitivity of touch and motion. And stop. Very good. Okay, lastly, we're going to go to inside to outside reference. Opposite references, punching in and out. And stop. Very good. And now back to the single hand motion sensitivity drills. The outside to outside reference, going aggressive and passive from the arm rubbing. Louis is going to insert on the aggressive motion with a subsequent follow-up. Okay, very good. And let's go back to the outside reference again, this time with the same arm rubbing motion, but inserting on the passive or the grabbing hand motion. This time we go to the single hand sensitivity drill, that is in the inside to inside reference. Gentlemen, if you could touch hands inside to inside and begin to flow there. The first insertion that Don is going to do is on his passive motion, or as he pulls back. And follow up. Very good. Okay, let's try that one more time on the passive motion. Same thing again. Out of the flow as he pulls back. Elbow strike, tiger claw, takedown, and kick to the groin. Very nice. And now we'll go to the double hand sensitivity drill, which we call the Wauki forward energy drill. Stressing forward energy based on the structure of the elbow in posture from San Chin. Actually, in both arms going out at a 45-degree angle from the elbow in position, with the energies clashing and meeting. So if Louis and I face each other, this time we're going to work out of a low stance, quite close to each other. The first reference that we have is I'll be on the outside of each wrist and he'll be on the inside. What we're doing is we're making half circle motions out of the Wauki circle block. As we begin, we're just touching the arms together, making the half circle. But as we progress, there'll be a pulse of forward energy backed by the elbow in position, to where our energies, our forward energies, clash and actually stretch the skin a bit as the bone makes contact with bone. And stop. The next reference, I go to the inside with one hand and the outside with the other. And we do the same thing, creating the half circle, actually checking each other with the forward energy at the end of each half circle and during the circle as well. The next thing we'll do is Louis is going to defend against my insertion. Okay? As we go back to the flow, I will be inserting to the face with my left hand, a left tiger claw strike. And the first insertion that Louis will do, or the first reaction, will be an offensive reaction, or what we refer to as extension. And again, showing the concept of extension as a reaction. Very good. The second reaction or insertion that Louis will do will be an evasion or a passive motion, in which he utilizes the elbow to move to the outside line. And we'll do that again. And now the third reaction, or third insertion, we will be doing what we call centralization or a stable reaction. Actually, just presenting the perfect laboratory condition structure, turning to face the energy, and carrying it off to the side. Going back to the Wauki forward energy drill now, after I attack with my initial motion and Louis reacts, he will follow up with a combination of techniques. Again, the first one will be extension. And one more time for the extension motion. Then we go to the second motion being the passive motion or the evasion. And the second time inserting on the second motion with the follow-up. And the last insertion and follow-up will be on the stable motion or the centralization. And once again. I'd like to thank Sensei Louis Campos on my right and Sensei Don Joyner on my left. And I hope that this introduction and touch reference training, forward energy training, and sensitivity of touch will improve your abilities in the art of Wei Chi Ru, especially in the art of close range combat. Thank you.
Unique Publications has been a leader in martial arts instructional books for over 20 years, with more than 70 titles covering forms as diverse as the Filipino martial arts, Taekwondo, Judo, Aikido, Kung Fu, Karate, Tai Chi, Ninjutsu, and Jeet Kune Do, and books on legends like Benny the Jet Urquidez and Bruce Lee. You're bound to find the martial art that works best for you. Now you can find the same quality you've come to expect in the Unique Publications video collection. Each video takes you step by step through the process of learning your chosen method of self-defense. With some discipline, perseverance, and training, you'll be on your way to mastering the martial arts. To get your free catalog of martial arts books and videos, call 1-800-332-3330. Take that first step toward your dream. Pick up the phone. Dial 1-800-332-3330 and ask for your free catalog. You can't lose. Unique Publications provides you with your ticket to the world of martial arts. All you have to do is claim it. Keep up with the fast-paced world of the martial arts with Inside Kung Fu and Inside Karate, the finest martial arts magazines available, jam-packed with news, interviews, techniques, health tips, history, self-defense methods, and much, much more. The only way to stay on top of the ever-changing martial arts world is to subscribe now, for yourself or as a gift. Order today. Save over 40% off the newsstand price. Call 1-800-877-5528. Visa and MasterCard are accepted.